I limped, Fox and jams 12. We're just gonna call. Throw 14 actually, but I still think 7's calls here. It's a bad turn. Boom! Oh yes, get foxing. Get foxing. Let's go. Let's go. Back in it. Let's go. You can't fake that. That hopelessness that comes in when, like, you know, you're drawing to your 2 outs with 1 card to go. You can't fake that shit. I'm gonna peel here. What a shit turn. Pretty sure this is gonna end up being pure shove against this size. It kind of sucks, but I'm just pretty sure that's how it works. Got the call, ladies and gentlemen, from Jack 7. Boom! That's what we do. We make the thin value bets on this stream. That's what we do on this stream. You know that the nits are out there going to be talking shit. If that didn't work, the nits would be calling me out. Whew! I can feel the YouTube heat. I can feel it. 138 heart rate, baby. Let's go. All at once. Trying to have a fucking heart attack and win all the chips all at the same time. Trying to get greedy with it. Whew! That felt good. That felt good. That's where it's at. I think squeezing this is pretty good. Elio's definitely flatting uncapped though. Like, he's got the nuts in this situation, so it depends on how far back this range is getting dragged. Like, this is a very good hand for squeezing, but it's like one where I don't mind making the overcall. Whereas if I had like king queen, you know, king queen I still like. If I had ace 10 offsuit, I'd probably squeeze that. If I had like king jack offsuit, I'd probably squeeze that. But like, this is just pretty marginal, I think. Thin value shove with the kings. Gotta love it. That's where it's at. So I know I just built this stack, but it's very likely that it goes away right now. This range for me is very capped in general. It's a very tempting situation when this player just go off. I don't have ace king, obviously. I don't have aces. I don't have kings. So the top of my range is like ace queen and ace jack. I might squeeze some of that pre-flop. So at the same time, like, this player might just fucking have it. But he doesn't. But he doesn't have it. So we win the chips. So we win the chips with the capped range. So we win the chips. Villain had ace 6-0. Gonna make the call. I'm gonna make the fold. I think this is pretty standard. I also don't think it's totally necessary. You could choose another sizing choice. It's a quick call by Kristen. It's not good. And we lose a flip. King queen into eights. Can I discuss turn leads though? Yeah, sure. So I'm not gonna, like, you know, turn this into a fucking coaching session, because there are some people that are just like don't care. But so I'll be kind of brief about it. For the most part, like, leading involves some kind of an inflection point. So and by inflection point, usually some kind of meaningful asymmetry is helpful. So what does that mean? So it helps if, for example, you can have, you know, if the turn, like the quintessential example of where to lead is when I'm gonna check this back. The quintessential example of where I'm gonna have to bluff the river though is when we're gonna go with half pox. We're not gonna try to represent trips. We're gonna represent a range that's like maybe a little more dense ace-x, and we're gonna get called by 7 sometimes anyway, but we're still gonna do it. We're also gonna get jammed on by a king. And you could make an argument around like shoving or something, but I wouldn't do it with an ace. I would only do it with a king. And like, I do have a king sometimes, but like some of those are gonna need to protect my ace-x component, and then some of those are, a lot of those are gonna bet the turn. So it's a substrat, like it's a small component of the betting range on the river. So mostly I shouldn't be shoving, I think. Okay, back to where we were before I got owned. Okay, back to turn leading, which we've been trying to get to but have struggled with. Oh, fuck. We're gonna play this fucked up hand first. Plenty of room for min raising to be better. I don't think it's like obvious that it is better, but there's room for it to be better. I think his range is probably pretty strong, but I think that I'm still supposed to call, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check back and lose. Sometimes it's gonna be to a 10, sometimes it's gonna be to trips. You can make arguments around trying to bluff and represent that I have pocket aces, but I think that there's going to be enough other shit to do that with that I don't think I want to do with this. It sucks when it's a 10 though. Once a 10, you really wish you would have shoved. All right, so yeah, leading. So you're looking for inflection points. You're looking for situations where there's an asymmetry that you think exists. Again, the best example that's like where it makes it obvious is, you know, in a tournament, for example, really wide range on really tight range c-bets the flop, really wide range calls, which narrows the really wide range, and then the turn pairs the bottom card of the second, or the turn pairs the bottom pair, or the middle pair, where the opener is missing that card from his tight opening range. And so essentially what has happened now is we've introduced trips, which is a very meaningful asymmetry because there's a lot of combos of trips. For the most part, a big blind range will have, like, you know, north of 70 of them. It'll cap out at around 90-ish, depending on what's going on with the flop, but for the most part. So it's a lot. You know, to put it in perspective, a flush draw would be like 55. So more meaningful than a flush draw, for example. And so yeah, so that meaningful asymmetry that it now belongs to the player in the big blind translates to high frequency leading, because if the big blind did not lead, what it would translate to is a high frequency checking strategy from the in position player. No money would go in. So that's kind of how that works. I think this is still a call, although it's really miserable. He raised the button, I flatted the big blind, and now I'm check calling the flop with it's kind of fucking hopeless. But I think nonetheless, I kind of have no choice against that size. I don't think folding flush draws is good, even 5 high ones against the button. But we don't have to call the turn, thankfully. Getting close to the caching, which is, you know, one thing. This player's a chip leader, though, which I think is going to be fine. It might not be fine. It might be fucking dreadful. But I think it matters. Like, I wouldn't do it with ace-9 offsuit. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think this player's range was, like, likely to be very wide as a chip leader, as we kind of start to converge on the bubble. And I do have an equity risk premium, but it's not, like, so horribly... Wow. That's, like, such a fucking call. Like, I'm not, you know, like, I'm basically, like, uncomfortable with my shove. And then he just, like, slams an ace-jack, which is just... I don't know, seems optimistic. Obviously, this is super standard, 10 big blinds, we have an ace, so... Gonna get called sometimes by better hands, but that's the game. That is the game. Please fold. Got called by worse. Kind of worse. That's a bad start. That's a really dead turn, so I bubbled. It sucks. It's the game, though. It happens. What are you gonna do? Fuck, seriously, 1,000 buy-ins. Yeah, I mean, like, look, we have, and people don't understand how commonplace that is either. So, like, we have players who have $30 average buy-ins, and they get into $30,000 worth of makeup. And, like, and when I say that, like almost as a joke, in the sense that, like, that happens all the time. Like, that's not, like, if you think that that's not standard, like, you don't really understand what's going on. That is par for the course. Like, any one of my guys who's got a $50 average buy-in will be like, yeah, I've been at 50K makeup once. Like, you know, like, it happens. Guys with $100 average buy-ins go into 100K makeup. Like, happens, you know. It sucks when they go into 200K makeup. Like, that happens too. But, like, as the win rates get more narrow, shit that happens less often starts to happen a little bit more. Because maybe we're making a mistake. Maybe someone's playing a bit too high sometimes, etc. This seems gross, like, with 9 off the money. Like, it depends on how careful this shoving range is. I don't expect it to be that careful, but it doesn't really cost me much to call. I think I'm just going to fucking flick it in and be called a punter and just deal with it. It's a really good river. It's good because when you make 2 pair, just like, it just hurts a little bit more. It's like fucking worst river ever. So yeah, I mean, I think that spot's really close. Like, obviously he's not jamming a lot of big blinds. That's the reason for the call. But, like, his range might be tighter because he's not jamming a lot of big blinds and he's close to the bubble. But probably not. Like, he's not that close. Like, he's gotta still, like, you know, he's gotta make things happen still, which is why we called. But it's gross. Very standard re-steal. Probably beyond the point of explanation. Doesn't mean I'm screwed. Gotta win a flip. It's a good start. There we go. There we go. This sucks. I think I have to call again. Actually, I think I know I have to call. I just don't want to call. It's not a part of how I 4-bet either, so I can't do that. I can't fold. I can't shove. Calling sucks, but we're left with that. So here we are. So I've been both. I mean, like, it comes down to how much capital you have. Like, you know, if you've got enough money to do either one, it's fine. It also comes down to like what you're like, you know, if you can do both. But necessarily you kind of have to be really good at poker to be really successful at staking, in my opinion. So it's more stressful because you have to do both jobs. Being a successful poker player is one job. You have to be a successful poker player. It just ends there. But being a successful backer requires you to be, like, in my opinion, to be like a very high level poker player. And it's thin. I'm aware that it's thin. So, yeah. Anyways, because you have to be able to do both, basically, and it requires, like, new skill sets, like, you could argue that it's more stressful, but most of the stress comes from, like, you know, running the risk of going broke. At least for me. For me, the stress is, like, when you're stuck to, like, redline it, and, like, you're at risk. That's, you know, like, if it's not really that stressful at this point for me. Like, the staking organization's, like, not a real source of stress. Just like playing poker. Like, it's fun. Like, my heart rate will run sometimes, like, pretty high. But it's not like really stressful. Streaming, for example, was really stressful just when I first started streaming. That was really stressful. But, like, it gets, you know, you get used to it. So, you know, it is what it is. Do I discount for Sharkscope? I do not. No, I don't have them as a partner. Still gonna bet. Gonna go small. Still gonna bet. Gonna go with reasonable. Shit. I don't know. I mean, like, it seems like if I'm going to go that sizing, I should probably just jam. But it just seems like, I don't know. I bet I went with that one. I think I should probably just shove, but I didn't. Is what it is. Gonna call, which I think is pretty standard. Wonderboy looked really sharp, although, LOL. Yeah, I thought so. I thought Wonderboy looked really good. Just gonna take a shot at it. Check back the turn. Just gonna bet 30% on the river, which I think makes sense. Actually, this makes more sense. Obviously, it's not always gonna work, but I think it's reasonable. If you could fold, that'd be cool. I feel like I'm getting called. Like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I think it's a standard spot to take a shot at it. Someone asked me, like, who the best players are, and I can't name me. And I, like, you know, and Connor's fucking good too. But, like, if you ask me, like, you know, like, I didn't even think about Connor, because I was trying to think about people that aren't inside BBZ. But, like, if you think about, like, those are the guys that like, those are the names that stand out to me. But, you know, full disclosure, I'm friends with apestyles. Stevie444 and I have battled in high stakes sit and goes before. Lots. Oxoto and I have battled in high stakes sit and goes before. Lots. Elio and I have battled in high stakes sit and goes before. Lots. Right? So, like, look at who I'm picking, right? Like, I'm picking people that I've played with, like, tons. And since I've played with them tons, like, you know, and, like, I might know a little bit about who they are, who they're friends with. I know a little bit about how they think, right? But it's all based on what I know about them. Like, it's not based on, like, what they've won or anything. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's still just a list of guys I kind of know. And, like, the other guys' names, like, names that, like, aren't on that list are just, like, the names that I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about them to put them on some kind of list or, like, pedestal. So their names aren't on there. But it's not because they suck. It's just because, like, you know, like, I'm sure that, like, Pads has to be super fucking good. Like, everybody talks about how good he is, but I don't fucking know much about him. You know what I mean? Like, he's starting to make content now. I haven't really watched it, but this isn't a shout out to him or anything. But, like, you know, he is starting to make content. And, like, I'm sure I'll find out more about how he thinks. But, like, he's got his own organization, and it's all behind his own wall, historically, for the most part. And, like, how he thinks is not open to me. So I don't fucking know if he's any good. But I would assume that for all, you know, for all the credit he gets from other people, that he can't suck. But how do I rank that? You know, and how do I rank European, and how do I rank Elmerix, and, you know, those types of guys. Like, I'm sure they're good. Have to be good, right? But, like, again, I can't put it into context. Like, which one's the best? I don't know. Can't even tell you that about like people I'm friends with. So, you know, for me, it just ends up being a list of names of people I'm good with. Just gonna keep betting. It's not gonna be geometric, but I don't think that matters here. Hey guys, BBZ here. I am pumped to tell you that we've got apestyles, aka John Van Fleet, joining the seminar roster. So he is going to be creating content for us 1 day a week, aka creating content for you guys 1 day a week. It's going to be high-level strategy. He's got the best tenure. He's a $3 million winner. It's difficult to put a number 2 face on it. He was a badass when I started playing the game. So, like I said, I couldn't be happier to have him creating content with us. You guys can check him out on the BBZPoker website if you're interested in joining those seminars. And now you can get back to your video. Pretty standard pre-flop call, I would say. Gonna call the flop. It's never fun to make these calls, but they're calls, so there's that. It's a card that looks like a good card, but it's really meaningless and useless to me. Barreled into a lot here, and I'm gonna fold. So I might underbet 7x, but I think underbetting 5x is a bit thin. Could go to like 10% sizing and value bet this hand, but well, can't quite go to 10% sizing. But you get my drift. You can go really small and include this hand. You can bet 600 the min, and include that hand for sure. But it's like, yeah, and it's probably gonna outperform checking. So it's close though. The Witcher. See, the Witcher was one that I started, and like the thing is, I started it because the stream recommended it, and I watched it for 8 minutes, and that was one of the ones that I shut off. I saw this like spider thing jump out of the water, and I was like, nah. It was like not for me, so I just turned it off. The Witcher, I don't think I could do. I bet it gets good. Like I'm sure it gets good, but like because I like The Walking Dead, so it's not like it can't be like I don't believe in zombies, so like it's not like it can't be science fiction. I could do science fiction or whatever you want to call that. Fiction, so I could do a Giants, but the graphics, at least it's episode 1, like it's a pilot, whatever. But I saw it and I was like, I just turn it off. And like some of you that are like super massive fans of The Witcher, they're gonna be like, fuck you. Like, hey, look, I didn't say the show sucked. I said I watched it for 8 minutes. Got to make cutthroat decisions sometimes, that or it's something else. I tried The Witcher, so I do listen to the stream because I didn't get that on my own. I told the wife too. I was like, yo. The stream thinks we should try out The Witcher, because a lot of you have mentioned it. Lasted fucking 8 seconds. Like, I don't even think it lasted 8 minutes. Like, I watched the spider jump out of the water. You watch episode 1, I think that happens in like the first 45 seconds. So I think it might have taken me like 2 minutes to turn it off. Alright, so we opened, and then the cutoff flatted. That seems bad. He's got a weak pre-flop range because he's a chip leader, so that's good. Gonna be a lot of like pocket 7s in this range. I mean, my range is pretty fucking tight, so I don't think it's bad for me to bluff with this. I do think it's gonna be less good to bluff here with this king of diamonds. We're gonna lose like jack 10 and like 10-9 and 7s sometimes, but I think that like I'm just not supposed to bluff with like this. It's pretty gross when he bets like this. I would hero call with like some hands that kind of look like this one, but I think having king of diamonds still just sucks. Part of the problem is that I think the pre-flop range is weak, which makes me like want to call a bit more. But again, I think that my pre-flop range is so strong that I just don't have to. It's an easy hand to play. Not folding it no matter what. There's no pay jump until 11 left, so even if this player jammed, we'd still call. I'll take the time bank call. Like if you want to call ace jack or something, that's fine with me. King queen, you're dominated. Let's hold. Come on, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. I told you. I'm like, I'll take the time bank call. I'll take the time bank call all day. I know what that time bank call is. That's some shit I beat. You can do that. You want to do that one? Go ahead. Don't do the snap call. I won't take no snap call. I ain't about to take no snap call. But I'll take the time bank call. The time bank call isn't even 9s. I mean, the time bank call is like 7s, maybe, if it's lucky. But it's probably not even, like, I don't even know if it's 7s. Time bank call is shit we dominate. I'll take a time bank call, baby. Go in the time bank and then press the call button. As soon as he's like, tick, tick. I'm like, call, man. Call. You can do it. Call. Yeah, all these apps that disintermediate someone wrecking someone. I mean, like, it's still, that's the way that it works. But, And under normal conditions, I think that's fine. Because That's capitalism. That's how the fucking system works. Like you got the old shit, then you get the better shit, and then you leave the old shit, and then you do the better shit. Like that's how it works. It's fine that that's how it works. But like this is a little bit different in the sense that like this pandemic is, which is accelerated, like, that life cycle has left a bunch of people fucked all at once. So like I'm willing in this case to be like put on my socialist hat and be like, not right now. Maybe later, which is kind of like the whole kick the can down the road thing. That's how lots of these things work, but like I don't disagree with it. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, so supposed to be using a pretty high frequency barrel on this card. Pretty sure this hand can just like bet and side call it off, although I'll be honest, I don't really want to do that. Especially with 15 left, but I think that I kind of running out of choices. Like this card's like really good for me to barrel. So, and like this hand's, I need to barrel some flush draws, and this one can just like call shoves. So I'm not barreling hoping he jams so that I can call, but like if he shoves, I'll call. And like be like, please have 9-10 of clubs, because then he's fucked. All right. I see you. So now we shove for value, and like, you wimp out and just like fucking check back, like of course. Because like I do think like sets and things like strong hands should be in this range. He's gonna have like ace 7, ace 5, ace 8 too. But I think I just have to triple the run out. Occasionally get snapped and just be like, see you guys, it was fun. It's been real. But like there are hero calls here because there's so many busted draws. There's actually not that many like top pair hands in my turn c-bet strategy. It's very easy to check back the turn with ace high. It's also easy to check back the flop with ace high. So a perceptive opponent might be like, he doesn't have top pair that much. And like, is he really good enough to thin value bet like king queen? Probably not with 15 left. So like I hero call. You get there a lot. Like some people will get there and like make the call. Like I would make the call under like, a lot of the time for the reasons I mentioned. And, so I can optimistically hope that my opponent makes that call. Once again, we were like, we wanted the time bank call. Like once it's not like call, we're like, please call, please call. So, but as soon as you shove, you're like, please don't call like too fast. Please don't call too fast. I'm not gonna isolate this hand too much, so I'm gonna mostly check. I'll still isolate it sometimes, but mostly I'm gonna be checking. Yeah, I'm gonna isolate this time though. I check this hand shitloads. Sometimes I gotta raise. This is a good way to protect the checking range, but like at this SPR, it's pretty dicey. Kind of sucks because like all of his 10s that he limp calls dominate you, so it's like kind of nice to check them back. And bluff catch, as opposed to like betting, getting check raised by Jack 10 and stacking off. But I think I just need protection. I think it's a big deal. On the flop against the wide range, so we did make the bet. It's bad river. There's worse ones, but that's not a good one. Okay, we're gonna win a lot against 8x. We're gonna lose to some flushes that are check raising. Okay, cool. I'm going to peel against the 2.5x. Not the flop I would have asked for, but there's worse ones. Andrew, I enter directly. As far as like almost all the tournaments I play, I just buy in directly. I'm going to continue checking. It's certainly very likely I have the best hand. There's also lots of value and lots of protection in betting my hand, but there's also a lot of check raises in my opponent's range, and I'm just going to show my hand down. I'm going to value bet now. I know it's interesting once it's an 8 to a straight, but I'm going to try to bluff this card a lot and incentivize some hero calls and things. So we did actually get called. So by worse, obviously. We got called by a pair of 7s. I'm just going to start by completing this hand. I think this is a spot for mixing. Definitely want to have a raising component. I'm not really sure 8-5 is going to be a huge part of it though. Join the final table with 2 BB and finish in 4th. Pretty sick. Just make sure you're following Yargo. Gonna check raise the flop here. I don't hate calling against like the slightly larger size. Like it's clear that to me that this is like going to be value like at least a little bit more often, but I don't know how much that matters. It's pretty tempting to 1.5x PSB it here. The board's likely to deteriorate a lot. I don't know that I want to do that ordinarily though. I also don't know if it matters if I don't want to do it ordinarily. Matters enough that I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with this. There's a lot of bad cards, and I kind of like shoving for that reason, but even this, like, you know, is kind of awkward, but I think this is probably going to be chosen more commonly than shove, because it's just so hard to shove. That's just a shitty turn. That's just a shitty turn. I mean, it happens. I mean, he could have bet called the flop with Jack 10 or with a 6 or whatever, so... Jack 9, which is also a double gut shot, which then turns top pair. So we're short. We've got to do some spinning at this point, but I'm comfortable with the line. Shoving obviously wouldn't have solved my problem. All right. We still got the pay jump. That's pretty friggin' sick with 3 big blinds. The 3 big blind pay jump. Holy shit. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm gonna fold. Yeah, so I mean, like, when I think about that 2 pair hand, like, I don't think it's unreasonable to check the turn and then shove versus bet, but I think it's kind of unreasonable because things go bad so often when it checks through, and it checks through, like, after you check raise, it's gonna check through a lot. I think, like, a better answer is just betting and, like, kind of, like, it's one of those turns where it's like, obviously I'm not oblivious to the fact that 9-10 filled, so it's a bad turn, but it's not such a bad turn, right? Like, it's not such a bad turn that it's just like, oh, like, now he's got 9-10. It's not that bad. You know, he bets the flop big, like, yeah, he can have 9-10, but he can also have... Oh my god, holy shit, we're gonna get another ladder? Come on, hold ace king, this is for this. Oh, that's so brutal. How do you re-steal king queen off there, bro? I have no chips. Like, not a figure of speech, no chips. Like, I got no chips. I got as close to the definition of having no chips as you could possibly have. You almost gave me the ladder right there. I almost got paid with no chips. Holy shit, guys, come on. Go to BBZPoker.com and get the ICM course, Christopher B. This dude needs the BBZ Poker ICM course. Holy macaroni, do you need it? That is such a no-fly zone. Like, I have 3 big blinds, dude. I have three big blinds. You have king queen offsuit. Jay coming through gifting subs. I love you, Jay. Thanks, man. Like, what the hell was that? I mean, I have no chips, but, like, we're, you know, like, this is a bit much. Like, I'm not folding this hand, like, at all, ever. This is just, like, this range could be, like, ace-5 offsuit. I'm not exaggerating either. So, like, yeah, he could have kings, but he could have ace-5 offsuit and be pressuring the stack size with me being so short. Or he could have ace-king. You know, instead of ace-5, he could have ace-king. Let's hope for a deuce. Or a queen. Or jack. We could be greedy and hope for a jack. All right, guys. We took 9th. We almost took 8th, which is ridiculous because this guy didn't get the ICM course yet. Thanks very much for hanging out today. I do appreciate it. I'm going to go get my daughter some sushi. I wish the 8-5 would have gone differently, but I'll be honest. Like, I'm playing that hand that way mostly. And... yeah, so cheers. Thanks, guys. Peace. Have a good day. Bye.